Hey there, Blip here, and today for you guys I have a Mythic Plus review of one of the plus 19s or 18s I did. I'm pretty sure this is a 19. And I'm going to talk to you guys through my thought process, how I tackle everything, and how just to complete Mythic dungeons at a high difficulty like this as a Fire Mage. So now, some of the important things I want to tell you is that whenever you're doing high keys like this, you want to make sure you're as prepared as possible going into it. This means knowing what route you're going to be doing beforehand so you can adjust and use your cooldowns in the correct place. So for example here, we're going to be skipping everything at the start here and we're going to be doing a big pull where I'm going to do a massive combustion. So it's a plus 19, okay, so I can mention that in the start of the video now. But yeah, either way, we're going to pull this, we're going to skip this, I'm going to invis. I wish you're going to use my invis over my invis pot, because obviously then I can save a potion and use a potion on the pulls. You wouldn't ideally be using your potions for the most impactful moments in this dungeon, because yeah, when you're doing high keys, all the damage you can get matters, which is why I have my flask and food buff on if you look in the top right. Otherwise, I'm just steering a bit to the left here of that pack to make sure I won't pull it, blinking at the end, just to make sure when I get out my invis, I'm not going to ninja pull. Otherwise, now we're going to do a big pull here. I'm going to see if I can get a proc. I'd lucky to get a proc, and now I'm just going to combust off this and just start doing my damage. Not the most ideal combustion ever, honestly, I won't lie. But it's good enough. As you can see, I'm doing decent damage. There's enough multiple together here. Now this is a reaping week, or the spiteful shade week, so I'm just going to play Ring of Frost here. Ring of Frost is really nice for this dungeon because you can just root all the shades like this, and they get slowed massively when they get out of it as well. So that's a really nice way of dealing with the spiteful fix, so make sure you do play Ring of Frost on this week. It's also quite nice for this as well. So I'm going to wait till these are gripped together, and then I'm going to Frost Nova. Although I would have Frost Nova'd, but then we had a binding shot down, so it'd be a waste of CC. So I'll Frost Nova these now if they need to be Frost Nova'd, but I don't think they do. And then there's a fear coming in, see? I was prepared to Frost Nova in case I needed to, but I never had to, so now I'm just single targeting this down. And I'm always speaking with my group. I'm always asking them what our plans are, where we're going next, and just keeping communication with your teammates is really important when doing high keys like this. So I know now, but what we're doing in this dungeon as well is we're playing it smart. It's a fortified week, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be always playing around the affixes, or the dungeons itself. So this is a Plague Borer. We're going to get this thing low, and then we're going to blow it up in another pack. So my damage isn't going to be very high this dungeon, because we're going to be playing this dungeon efficiently by using the things at our disposal to do damage. So we're going to blow up this Plague Borer, and we're going to blow up this canister together with this trash, and it's going to in turn melt it. Now I'm combusting into the big guy here. I spoke to my group of it, and it was just best to do it here because this guy's going to take a while to die, and otherwise I'm going to be holding my combustion for a lot of the time. So we're just going to finish this guy off here. Frost Novas, going to use my Ring of Frost. Now these oozes hit quite hard, so we just let the tank soak them when he can. Otherwise, now we're pulling the next Plague Borer into the next pack. As you can see, it's very well thought out, very well planned. We're going to play this dungeon appropriately because, yeah, why not? Why not take advantage of things that can just do the dungeon for us? Like, this Plague Borer is going to destroy all this trash. So all I need to do is single target into this. I could Flame Strike here, which would give me the most overall damage, and I'm doing a bit of now. But I'm also single targeting this guy a bit because he needs to be, killed. Because as soon as he dies, all of this dies. So I might need to do a bit of single targeting here just to finish this guy off. And now my combustion is coming up again, so I'm thinking of where I should spend this. Now I know we're going to have a few things happen here. We're going to kill this ad on the side here, get a Prideful, and then go into the boss. So I'm going to just combust on this guy, because I know we're going to be killing the Prideful, which will now have my combustion up for the boss. But depending on your group, sometimes you might want to save your combustion for the Prideful. When you go higher than this sort of difficulty, the Pridefuls live a lot longer, and you can actually combust at the start of a Prideful to kill it, and then your combustion should be up like at the very start or pretty early at the start of the next of the boss. As long as you're benefiting from the time warp and the Prideful buff when you're killing the boss, that is really all that matters. So you saw there I was ready to Ring of Frost if I needed to on those blobs, but I didn't need to in the end. Most of the time it's better to ignore the shades. Sometimes we do kill them. It depends on what our plans are, but most of the time we ignore them and just CC them because we have a really decent group for CCing. I'm just going to use my mirror images now because I won't need them anywhere else, and it's just nice for a bit more damage reduction. Standing in healing range so the healer gets more more healing from it. Otherwise, yeah, I'm just using my stuff on this Prideful now. I'm not going to combust on this guy because it would be a waste. I need it for the boss, and this guy's going to die. Like if I was to combust here, it'd be such a waste, right? Yeah. Otherwise, as you can see, we're kind of positioned in a line. When you get the Prideful debuff, you always know where it's going to come from. So by standing in a line like this, we barely have to move, and now we can just kill this guy. Now I'm gonna get a hot streak from this and just save the hot streak, so I can go into the boss with Time Warp here with my maximum damage. So I'm just going to Fireball and do double Fire Blast off this with that, and then I'm going to build up my Flame Strikes, my Fire Blast to get my Infernal Cascade up, and then I'm going to start pumping the boss. As you can see, we're doing quite a lot of damage here because we have the buffs from the Prideful and whatnot. Unfortunately, I didn't use my Soul Igniter there. I actually don't even know if I have it in this run. I did this run like a week or two ago, so I'm sorry. I can't really remember too much about like if I have Soul Igniter equipped or not. Either way, we're going to be CCing all the slimes because we have a lot we can deal with them. I think we actually killed this set though, I could be wrong. But our boss damage is really high, so you know we could probably skip them. Okay, so I'm just going to Frost over these. Okay, so we are ignoring them. The boss is really low, so we can afford to do that, and our tank's going to grip them together. And now I'm just going to Ring of Frost. Okay, I cancelled my Ring of Frost because I saw they were being grounded and Earth rooted. So if I used my Ring of Frost there, it would have been a waste. But now I can use my Ring of Frost because I see that the stuff is running out. And you just see how powerful this Ring of Frost is. It's literally just buying us that crucial time we need. I could have combusted on the boss here, but I didn't see the point. It's literally dead anyway. And now I can use it on the next part of the fight. So as you can see, that's another thing when it comes to planning your dungeons. You normally want to get your Pridefuls for bosses or before big pulls, just so you can really take advantage of it, and then the healer has more mana to deal with the situation as well. So again, we're going to be playing around the Plague Borers here for the whole first part of this dungeon. Like it's what we want to always be doing because there's no reason not to. So we pull this like on optimized pack by itself, and then once the Plague Borer gets a bit lower, then we can pull the others in because why not, right? Like that's the whole purpose. You're going to get a Plague Borer a bit low and then we're just going to play off it. I'm just combusting here because there's no reason not to. I'm not going to be able to use it elsewhere, otherwise we're just going to be doing the same thing over and over again, so I might as well just use it on these packs as well. Just going to Frost Nova these Spiteful and then try and get through them. I'm just going to ring them so I can get through them while they're incapped so they don't hit me at all. And now we're just pumping the Plague Borer. And we're going to do the same thing again, but this time we have a canister as well, so we're going to bring them into the Plague Borer and the canister. As you can see here, I just do a bit of single target on the Plague Borer, and now I'm flame striking because the Plague Borer is going to die anyway, and it'll speed up the process a bit. I think this is one of those times we sort of killed the Spitefuls. No, okay, we're just ignoring them. Again, we're pulling the mobs into the canister here. I think we're out of Plague Borers now. So now we just need to rely on the canisters. Now I could have interrupted that. I should have interrupted that. I don't know why I didn't. But be careful when it comes to missing interrupts because they can be pretty detrimental. Otherwise, we're just focusing down the damage immune slime because the mob nearby has reduced damage taken. And I believe we're just going to use this canister because there's nothing else to use it on. And it just speeds up the dungeon a bit. Okay, so now we're going to kill this Spiteful Shade off because we want to invis this next pack. Obviously I have my own invis still, so I don't need to use an invis pot. And if you're wondering why we're doing this, it's simply so we can take advantage again of the Plague Borers. Because now they're going to keep spawning when we start this tentacle. These Plague Borers are just going to keep running at us and we can use them to, deal with the next trash. So I'm just going to combust into this tentacle, otherwise I'm going to get delayed. As you can saw, the most unfortunate thing happened and I used my shifting power badly. And as a result, I lost a lot of damage there. But again, the tentacle died so fast anyway, it didn't matter. That was a big mistake on my part, but luckily it wasn't on like a big pool. We got interrupted by the volcanic, so it's fine. Now we're going to get the Plague Borers here with this big guy. I'm just going to single target into the big guy. I believe this is where I ninja pull. I do a tab target and it really messes us up. Oh yeah, I get destroyed by that frontal as well, which I thought I was out of range of. You can see things are starting to fall apart now. And yeah, it doesn't help when I do this ninja pull in a second. But as you can see, the Plague Borers are destroying this. Yeah, as you can see there, I tried to click on the guy and I clicked on the guy in the back instead. Oh, it's the worst feeling, especially when you're doing high keys, when you do stuff like that. But luckily, we had everything under control at this point. Everything was dying. It ruins our kill count a bit, but it should be fine. I just helped soak some of these slimes because it's a bit of a mess at the moment. But yeah, you just look at your HP because, as I said, they really hurt on this sort of difficulty. Now we're killing the Prideful. So just make sure you stand still with the Prideful buff as much as you can. Obviously I blinked there because otherwise I would have got meleeed by a Shade. Didn't want that to happen. I Ring of Frosted them just to slow things down a bit. So you actually can blow up the Plague Borers on the Prideful. It actually does affect them, which is pretty cool. Something to keep in mind for you guys if you ever do a Plagueful. So we've got the next Plague Borers coming in again here now. I'm just going to stand still because I don't want to accidentally hit anyone, but obviously the buff disappears at this point. I'm just going to DPS the Tentacle down. Again, everything is dying so fast because the Plague Borers are just destroying stuff. And now we're going to go back for more trash because we're not done here yet. So I'm probably going to combust into this big guy here, otherwise I'm just going to be wasting combustion, and he takes a while to die anyway. So as you can see, I'm combusting into him. Aggro, unfortunately. This is where I should be using my mirror images. I didn't use them for some reason though. Mainly because I knew my tank would get aggro back and I'm a greedy player. I didn't want to use a global on the mirror images there. But if I did die, that would have been 100% my fault and it would have been a pretty unacceptable way to die. So make sure you use your mirror images there and don't be a blib. So pulling the two slimes down here now, and then we're just going to go to the mini ad now. I believe this is the last of the trash we're going to kill here. And yeah. So DB just to interrupt some cast there. Otherwise, yeah, now it's just about cleaving these down and killing everything. Now we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to use the Plague Borers to kill this guy. Because again, as I said at this, like early on, you know, we're taking advantage of the mechanics the dungeon has given us just to speed things up. Because why wouldn't you do that? I believe our tank gets hit by this, unfortunately. Oh no, he's fine. That must have been a different run I did. Again, but you see we have a last set of Plague Borers here. We're going to bring these into this trash as well. Unfortunately, the damage reduction slimes hurt a bit here, but it's fine because it dies really fast and then we can just DPS it down. As you can see, it died there. I have my combustion and everything up now, but I'm just saving it because there's no reason to use it on the pack dying this fast. We actually killed these off because we're a bit uncertain on what to do at this point. We are going to pull the pack on the left though, now the boss has jumped over. I will combust into this pack, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I started with a single target combustion because they weren't going to be stacked too well, so I thought it'd be better just to do a single target. I also get my combustion of cooldown a bit faster, so that's why I decided to do this. Interrupted the ad just before the cast went off. Now the Prideful spawning. Now, you could have argued I could have saved my combustion for this because it would have made things a bit cleaner. It's a bit hectic now. Yeah, you could make an argument that I could have saved combustion here. I'm also going to use it on the next pack as well though, so I think it was okay. I actually think we pull the next pack with the boss. I can't remember though, but we'll see. I just moved back a bit here. Normally other people move, but it's like I just saw a potential to move away and make things less awkward. Pull my mirror images for a bit more defensive. Otherwise just killing the Pride now. It can get pretty scary when you get up to 20 stacks, but we had a really good shaman hearing us here, so it was really nice. Yeah, we're going to pull the boss now with this last pack over here, as I said. Because the boss doesn't really do anything until you phase him, and I can just combust into this guy and it's whatever, right? Like he's going to die before the boss pushes anyway. Single target combustion because an AoE combustion wouldn't be good here. And stuff is dying so fast, so yeah. We have hunters popping their cooldowns as well. Look how much damage they're doing. Insane. Gotta watch out for the Spitefuls. Our time warp just came up, so I'm just going to use it now. No reason not to. Just blinked and got that slime in case no one else did. And now we're going to go into the next platform. Now we're going to CC these, the purple ad that spawns here. And we're just going to nuke the explosive ads because there's no reason not to. Really risky otherwise. You see the tank is taking the slime and the boss away, and we're just focusing the plague bomb. Kill it pretty comfortably. Now you see we have 2 hunters, so we can just keep these ads trapped 24/7. That on the far back is not going to be a problem anymore. Now I'm just going to combust into this bomb because why not? Just play it safe, kill the bomb, and then we can just kill the boss and be like safe on our way, because this dungeon is pretty much a time at this point unless we do anything stupid. Unfortunately, we have a dev there as I said that, but you know, it happens to everyone. So I did some ninja pulling like earlier on, as you saw, and obviously I did some more ninja pulling later because it seems to be my specialty. So yeah, because the hunter is dead now, the other ad is going to break from its trap, but we have the shaman use his earth grab totem when it does break, so it won't be a problem. And actually, that was a mistake, but yeah, okay, it was this one that we earth grabbed. I'm just going to put a ring of frost around it as well, just to keep it locked up. I didn't really need to do that because it was feared, but you never know, if the fear got broken then it would have been a bit sketchy, so I was like, whatever, I'll just ring of frost for safety. Now another special part of the dungeon is coming up. I get to do another special ninja pull after this next pack. So I'm going to combust on this pack here because the hunter, like this is what I mean about communication. I was speaking with the other hunters and they were going to be using their cooldowns in the middle pack, and really everything is going to die instantly. There is no reason whatsoever for me to use my cooldowns there. But what I can do is save my shifting power and runa power, because like these packs are already dead. It's just being optimal with my damage, right? I did combust into this pack as it was suggested by the group, and I think it was the best play as well. And then we can go into the center here and we can just nuke them down. And I can still do a bit of damage thanks to my runa power, shifting power. Just making sure I'm not standing in anything before I do it, because otherwise it's going to be annoying. And unfortunately there was a volcanic spawn as I did it, but I just blinked out of it. And as you saw, I DB'd a bit earlier as well to break the shield before I went into my damage. Oh, as you can see, it died so fast. If I combusted on this, it would have been such a waste of damage. I'm just going to ring of frost this now. Now I do a really stupid thing and I stand too close to the tentacle and I pull it. It hurts. It hurts to watch. Don't do this. It's not a good feeling. Let me tell you that. It happens. It happens to everyone who does Mythic Plus. So, you know, it's all about just being a good group that forgives people's mistakes and just move on with it. You know, I ninja pulled. Other people did some stupid stuff, but it happens. Okay, so now we're going to trap this ambusher, and we're just going to ignore it. We're going to do this pack here. Just going to combust into it instantly. Oh no, I got a bit destroyed there. I should have stayed further out, and then I used my Dragon's Breath a bit early, and no one broke the thing until late. Like this, it was unfortunate. I was too gung ho about going really crazy on my damage, and as a result, I nearly died. And we also needed a trap to break the shield that the ad puts up. So, a tip for you guys there is just don't be as gung ho as I am to do your damage, and just let the tank pick for it up, and then you have your like damage ready afterwards. Normally I like getting my damage off quite early, because otherwise, you know, it's all going to disappear because other people are going to destroy the mobs, and then you're going to have no damage and you're not going to be able to get your hot streaks up and whatnot. But it's normally fine. So again, my Dragon's Breath is coming up here. They both trapped it as well, but yeah, my Dragon's Breath wasn't on cooldown yet. I used it for the stealth links. And normally when this ambusher casts enveloped webbing, we just let it cast, because it means it doesn't do anything. What it does is it roots you after like a long cast if you're standing within the circle, but it's like it's just worth having it go off. It's just so like not dangerous, and it stops the ad from doing anything. So my combustion is going to come up a bit late here. I'm going to use it as soon as it's up. I'm going to DB this and now combust. I'm going to single target combust and now do a bit of AoEing that the stealth links have spawned. I'm going to Ring of Frost them. Obviously it ruined my combustion damage a bit, but I didn't have a choice. We had nothing left for the stealth links. Could have just maybe DPS them down, but I just thought, hey, you know what? I'll just try and CC a few just in case, just to make sure we don't accidentally die. Now I'm looking at this again, it probably wasn't worth Ring of Frosting at all. I just felt like, you know, my safety instincts went up and I was like, oh no, dude, I have to try and do something. So yeah. But you've probably seen so far just how valuable Ring of Frost is on this dungeon week, the Spiteful week. But it's pretty good on other weeks as well whenever you need to control stuff, so it's worth having. Just remember that Ring of Frost does put you in combat if you use it though. So don't use it unless you're in combat with a pack already, or you'll know you're going to be in combat with a pack and you need to delay them for a second or whatnot. Or if mobs are running away, for example, it's pretty good for that as well. Using the ambusher again just to make sure we don't pull it mid-boss. I'm just going to combust on the boss because why not? Now something that's really cool about this fight that I think I'm fired up discovered or someone else discovered, I'm not too sure, is that you can actually use your mirror images to get the ads out of the stealth, which I'll show you later on. Obviously my mirror images is on cooldown right now, so we can't use it and we have to get it out using other methods. But the first one isn't too bad. We have obviously Flare, which is pretty good for that. And yeah, we just kill these ads. It's pretty important you break them as soon as possible, because otherwise we can get wrecked. Unfortunately, as you saw there, my shifting power got cancelled by Volcanic. That's absolutely why I hate Volcanic week. It's so painful to deal with, but hey ho. More assassins. This time I got a Flame Strike ready and just broke one with Flame Strike. It's going to stand out here and tank this. I had a lot of HP and stuff, so I'm not going to ice block it. But I believe I ice blocked the next one just to be safe. As you can see, my images are coming up now. I should have it up for the next set of ads. I'm going to just combust now. Just do as much boss damage as I can. Unfortunately, I got the ambush. You hate to see it, but it happens. I'm trying to stay in range of my Rune of Power for as long as possible. Just pre-blocked it and then back to my damage. The assassins are spawning now and I'm going to mirror image. And as you can see, they all get out instantly. It's really weird, but mirror images works in the way that it redirects all active threat to your images that you have. And I'm guessing when that happens, it like does something to the assassins that makes them get pulled. Mirror images is really weird, and but it's really cool as well. I really like the cooldown actually. Okay, so now the boss is dead, and we're just going to finish up the dungeon now. I believe we're going to kill some slimes first. One at a time because they can be annoying to deal with sometimes. I actually think we're pulling this one together with the other one. I'm not sure if we're missing boss count here or not towards the end, but we'll see. I believe we miss some boss count and we go back for another slime, but you'll see at the end of this video to be sure. I'm too uncertain. I'm not going to combust this because I believe we're doing a big pull next, so I was just deciding to save it for that. We'll see. I'm pretty sure that's what we're doing. Tank is just cutting back right now because these hit hard. Just going to Ring of Frost here again. I like Ring of Frost a lot because it incaps the mobs, which means I can get through. This is the ambusher that was from upstairs. I guess someone got in combat with it and it teleported to us as a result after the fight ended. Oh well, like as you can see, we pulled a bit of extra kill count here. I don't think we're missing any kill count now for sure, so... Again, I'm not combusting this because I'm going to be doing it on the next pull. I would have combusted this if our plan was a bit different, but we had... Yeah, if we weren't going to do this big pull downstairs, then I would have just combusted this because I would have had it up for one of the other like sets when we pulled them together. Otherwise, yeah, no, I just played it safe. Sometimes you just have to be like, you know, cautious and hold on to stuff. So the tank is going to go around, he's going to pull both packs together, and then he's going to run them towards us. So he's got in combat with both of them now, they're going to awaken and they're going to come together. Now, place your bets if you think this is going to go well or go wrong. It's a fun time waiting for the mobs to be gathered together. Okay, now the tank grips them together. It's a bit scuffed. It's a bit scuffed for sure. The tank is nearly dying. Pops meta. They're all stacked, all spread, sorry, like crazy. My shifting power isn't hitting everything because they're so spread, and I didn't want to go in close in case I got threat on anything and they would just kill me. So as you can see, it is really, really messy. Whether it was quicker than doing it the other way, I don't think so. I think we actually lost some time doing it this week because of how unclean it was. Maybe if we cleaned it up a bit, it would have been better, but yeah, I don't know. This was really messy. I really hate how much massive range Spiteful Shades have. They can hit you from like across the fucking level. It's insane. I was finishing off the big guy. Yeah, it was quite a messy pool. If you place your bets on Messi, then congratulations. You have probably experienced this before as well. Either way, now the boss is going to spawn. I'm just going to combust, I believe, on this Pride because we're going to have our cooldown set up in a way. Maybe I don't. Okay, I do, yeah. So at this point, obviously, this is where, again, communication is important. I was discussing with the other members what they're planning to do with their cooldowns, which, you know, is really good to do, so you can just make sure you know what's going on. And then we kind of just came to the conclusion that it's probably best I just combust on this so we can get to the boss faster. And because we're going to have, you know, hunters using their cooldowns, and then I'm going to be using my cooldown, and another hunter will use their cooldowns in the second phase. And then we'll also have time for the last phase, so that's the most important thing with this boss, just getting your cooldowns used correctly. Normally I like using my combustion on all 3 phases, but you know, using it on the Pride was fine there as well, because we're just going to save a bit of time killing it, and we can start the boss fast without having to wait of being healed up. Lake Crash is scary, so run away from that. The rain is coming out, as you can see, I alter timed before it went off, just so I could heal myself up a bit when I needed to. Just going to use it there so I can top myself off and let the healer heal other people. Alter time is an extremely powerful cooldown, so be sure to use that as much as you can. Almost died there. I got a bit greedy and ran ahead of her than I should. Anyway, I'm just going to Scorch now and get to heating up so I can get a hot streak and then just combust into the boss with a bit more damage going on. I must have not been okay, I'm playing with changing this dungeon, that makes sense. That's why I'm not using my Soul Igniter. Unfortunately, I messed my combustion up a bit at the end there, but it's not big though, I didn't lose that on much. Again, I alter timed just so I can heal up to full when I get low and the healer can focus on other people. When I see the healer is starting to focus his healing on me, I just use it so he doesn't waste his time. Otherwise, we faced the boss pretty fast there, and now we're going to have time up on our cooldowns for the last phase. Using my mirror images here because I don't have alter time. There's anything to help the healer out, but we have the time up going now. Very unlikely we're going to be in trouble. I'm just moving a bit further here. I could have stayed for a bit longer in my Rune of Power, but I really don't like chancing with these tentacles. They're sketchy. So I just did my combustion there, and yeah, that's it. That's all for this run. A pretty clean run, to be honest, other than my ninja pulling. 6.1k overall damage. That's pretty good despite not using cooldowns in certain ways and having to hold them for that whole, period where we're bringing in the Plague Borers. Yeah, that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful. It just shows you just how important communication is when doing high keys. Make sure you're speaking to your group, planning your cooldowns well, and just, and don't beat yourself up over mistakes. I made a ton of mistakes in this video, but we still managed to do a 19 pretty comfortably because everyone in the group, made up for my weaknesses and I helped people with their weaknesses and we just played really well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this type of video, let me know in the comments. Also, be sure to subscribe so you can see more videos like this I'll be making in the future. If you want to help support me, then you can check out my Patreon and my YouTube memberships in the description below. And yeah, I would really love to thank my patrons. You guys just really make my day, and I cannot thank you enough for the great things you're doing for me. So thank you so much for that, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.